Hey guys, if you're joining me, we are going to be going over some reading word pattern skills and a comprehension skill today. We're still practicing that vowel consonant E pattern. And we have learned in vowel consonant E words such as cake, kite, bone, and the word flute. We get the E jumping over the consonant and making the vowel say the long sound. So in this word, when I cover up the E, it is kit with the I making the I sound. But when we add that silent E at the end, it jumps over and makes the I say I. So it becomes kite. Kite. We are actually going to work on a vowel consonant E story today. And the title of this story is called My Friend Mike. We're also going to be working on a skill called making inferences. So I'm going to show you a sheet, and at this point you all have probably talked about making inferences in your classrooms with your teachers. So let's just review what this skill is. Making inferences. Making an inference means we use clues to figure out what the author is not saying. Often we can tell if maybe a character feels happy or sad just because maybe we get clues from the book. So maybe in this instance, you have a character that often is crying, who often says they feel lonely. Well, you would pair that together with information you already know from life. You know, if you see somebody crying, often they must be upset. Often they're sad. We know that when people get lonely, they can also get sad. So we could maybe take those two pieces of information and say, the character must have felt sad because they were crying. And I know when we cry, it often means we're sad. The author didn't need to tell us in that story, this character is sad. We just kind of naturally make inferences and get these clues to figure out what's going on deeper in the story. So when we make inferences, we can always start by using some little sentence starters like, I think the character may have felt sad. I predict being lonely will make the character sad. My guess is the character is sad. Maybe this made up character is sad because they're lonely. So we can use these to help us. Now, as we read the story, My Friend Mike, we're going to fill in an organizer, and if you would like to get a sheet of paper, you can pause the video after I draw it and draw this sheet as well. So I'm going to want to know the clues from the story. What character does? So I need to see, are there clues from what the character is doing in this story, My Friend Mike? What character says? Can I get some clues about what is going on by maybe things characters or the character says in the story? And then my last one, my final one, what character does, says, what they feel. Let me back up a little. So my organizer, what the character does, what the character says, what they feel, and then I put a little bubble for what we know. So we'll take these clues and write a little note about what we're thinking about all of it from our own experiences. And my end goal after reading this story is figuring out how the character felt about the day. And I know that's a lot, but if you want to go ahead and pause this and make this chart for me. So what we're going to do now is we're going to read this story called My Friend Mike. Okay. And in this story, they have three little smiley faces at the bottom. This is like the passage we did last week. So, what we'll do is we'll read it one time together and then I'll post the passage on Dojo. And if you'd like, you can pull it up and then practice reading it 2 more times to help build your fluency with these types of words. So let's remember, we want to be thinking about what is this character saying, doing, and feeling to make that inference. My friend Mike. This is Mike Price. I met Mike at the park. He was so nice. He had a shirt just like mine. At the park, we rode our bikes. We went down the slide. Mike and I also played with white kites. Then we had a slice of cake. It was fun to be in the sunshine with my friend Mike. And this must be a picture of Mike. I don't know which one is Mike. And the speaker of this story. So I've read it once. Now in this story, I can actually see up in the corner, it's looking for I consonant E words. And I have a lot of them actually, even just in the title. Mike, his name, we're getting the long I because that E is at the end and silent. Price. And if I kind of skim through, I see several. The word like has the E jumping over the K and making this I say its name. Mine right next to it. I even have one that's an O consonant E. So we've practiced that. Road. The O is jumping over the E and making it long. I've got the word slide, white, kite, slice. I've got an A consonant E word here, cake, with the E jumping over and making the long A sound. And then here in this word, this is a 2-syllable word, sunshine. We could clap that. Sunshine. The second syllable, shine, actually has the pattern here because the E is jumping over the N and making the I say its name. So sunshine. So we've read this story one time. We found some of these target words. Now let's start to talk a little bit about can I tell what this character with the speaker does in the story? So I'm going to go through and I'm going to look again. This is Mike Price. I met Mike at the park. He was so nice. He had a shirt just like mine. And I see one thing he does. At the park, we rode our bikes. We went down the slide. They played with kites. Then we had a slice of cake. So they did a lot of things, actually. So let's jot those things down. What the character does. Ride bikes. And I'm not going to write these in complete sentences, just little bullets. Eat cake. And I know I really like cake, so that's probably good. So I'm already thinking about, well, dang, they're getting to ride bikes, they're getting to eat some snacks. Well, what I know from that, when I get to hang out outside and eat good snacks, I know it makes me happy. So that's information I bring to what's happening. They go on the slide. Play with kites. Okay, so he did a lot of things. And a lot of things it really seems like are fun. So he did lots of fun things. So I'm going to jot that down. Because that's what I know. So now I can think about, well, what does the character say? So I'm going to go back in the passage and I'm going to look if the character has any speaking words. Now, he kind of is just talking about what he did during the day. But if I look closely, he does say towards the end, it was so fun to be in the sunshine with the friend Mike. So what the character does say. To be in the sun with Mike. Try the capital. Okay. So right there, he's giving me a clue that he must be enjoying his day. He's having a good time. And then the last one asks me, well, what does that character feel? Well, they don't really give me much about feelings. He tells me he meets Mike. Oh, this is something else, though. He says he was nice. So that's something I can add to what he says. But it talks about here what they do. And it just says that he says it was fun. We don't really get an idea of the feelings. So that might be what we are making an inference about. We might be trying to infer and not really guess because we're using the clues, but make that inference. Maybe he feels this way based off the information. But like I said, I want to add, he says it's fun to be with Mike, and he also says Mike is nice. So I can take all this and I could say, okay, well, I know he's getting to do a lot of fun stuff during the day. And not only is he getting to do fun stuff, he's getting to do it with this nice new kid that he met. And he even says that he has fun with him. So I can make an inference. Well, how must this character feel about the day he had? He's having fun. He's getting to do fun stuff. I infer he enjoyed his day. How did he feel? About the day? Well, he enjoyed it. How do I know he enjoyed it? Well, they did all these fun activities, such as eating cake and playing with kites. And I can also say that he enjoyed it because he talks about how fun it is and how nice that man Mike, or that boy Mike, was. So making inferences really aren't difficult because we naturally do that. But we want to remember when we make an inference, we take the clues from the book, those text details like we did here. We pair it with what we already know, and then we can make that inference. We can figure out what the author wants us to figure out, but doesn't say exactly. Now, if you look at this sheet here, there are 3 questions. The second one we kind of did in our box. What is one thing they did at the park? We wrote down about how they went on the slide and ate cake and all of those things. There are 2 questions left. Where did the 2 friends meet? What color were the kites? I'm going to post this on Dojo, and what I would like for you to do is you can reread the story 2 more times for fluency, and then work on answering question 1 and question number 3. We're going to write down the answer to question number 2 right now, just to practice that capitalization and punctuation and making sure we're writing in complete sentences. So what is one thing they did at the park? I'm going to put about here. They played with kites. So what is one thing they did? Capital O. One thing they did is play with kites. And I put a period. And it's a complete sentence. Who I'm talking about and what they're doing. So when you do your questions for 2 and 3, please make sure that you are doing them in complete sentences. Go back to the text to find the answers, and I'll have a nice clean copy on Dojo. Till next time, see you guys later.